Our next impression video is for the remastered version of Mafia 2 that recently released. Darrell has some thoughts on it, and since he spoke pretty strongly on Mafia 3, I figured now would be a good time to discuss. So let's get right to what he has to say. Launched on the 19th of May this year was the remaster of Mafia 2. Given the title of Definitive Edition, Mafia 2 received a facelift on PS4 Pro and Xbox One. It boasts a 4K resolution and launched alongside the updated Mafia 3 as part of a trilogy, which will include the remake for the first game due for an August release. For those who are unfamiliar with the game, it is a third-person open-world action-adventure based in the fictional setting of Empire Bay. You play as a young mobster, Vito Scaletta, who has returned home from serving in the war as he endeavors to climb the ranks of the city of Mafia families. Visually, it is still evident it is a 10-year-old game, but brought as best as possible to being up to date. Effects such as lighting, reflections, shadows, all have been improved over the original release, which looked impressive as it was over 10 years ago. Animations are impressive, examples being people will slip on the ice and cars will slide on the ice as well, and bins will be knocked over if the bin falls over and snow, for example, may be knocked off the lid. The soundtrack matches the feel and air very well, and the Mafia game itself. Sound effects are also high quality here. Gameplay is not as smooth as Mafia 3 or open world games like GTA 5, but this is a previous generation and considerably older. But it is still very playable, runs smooth, and is fun to play as I recall it 10 years ago, and it holds up well in 2020. The story hasn't changed, and this edition has all the DLC. In fact, only the first Mafia has any alterations due to the tone reported extension on the story, but more on that when it releases. The story back then was solid and strong, and it holds up today just as much as any game in its genre. Is this remaster worth it? I would say yes, depending on how much you want it, and how to buy it may vary, so let me explain. Also, if you're new to the franchises, I would recommend getting the franchise through the trilogy bundle. Is this remaster worth it? I would say yes, depending on how much you want it, and like Mafia 3, it launched at £25 or $30, but it is also bundled with Mafia 3 and the upcoming remake in the Mafia trilogy for £50 or $60 US. Mafia Definitive Edition is £35 or $40 on its own. They may help explain why it's worth it if you want to buy the remaster of Mafia 2 and the remake of 1, even if you don't own the third game. If you want the complete collection, then the trilogy, I feel, is of excellent value. The remaster of 2 with the DLC at the price it's at, I feel is worth the money if you want to buy it. If you own none of them, you are effectively going to get one of the trilogy for free if you purchase it that way. If you own Mafia 2 on Steam, you should actually get this updated for free as well. As the owners of Mafia 3, they also got updated, and they also received the DLC for free. Personally, regardless how you pick this game up, I fully recommend it. At present, it is digital only, though physical copies of the trilogy should be available when Mafia is available at August 28th. So there you have it. Darrell has his thoughts on the Mafia trilogy re-release, remasters, and upreses. Of course, we want to hear what you have to say or what you're thinking, if you've been playing, if you bought it, and if not, whether or not this would entice you to do so. So until next time, friends, I'm going to leave you with some screenshots. I'm Ambassador Michael. Thank you for joining us today. Goodbye.